So, I'm going to be on the news today. Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Tatiana. You're watching Tatiana's Tiny Zoo, and I have a reporter coming to my house in 2 hours. I'm trying not to freak out about it. Yeah. Can you tell I'm freaking out a little bit? This reporter reached out to me from one of my local channels here in Wisconsin, and he wanted to do a spotlight interview on my new small business. But yeah, he's gonna come over here, he's gonna ask me a couple questions about Tatiana's Tiny Zoo, and then he's gonna take some B-roll footage of all of my animals, and especially the animals that I'm gonna be taking with me to programming. Before he can come to my house, though, I need to clean up my reptile room. I need to make myself look a little bit more presentable. I need to get out of my pajamas is what I'm saying. Maybe put some makeup on. But yeah, my small business is going to be on the news. Okay, my house is clean. My makeup is as good as it normally is. And my reptile room is clean. I have dressed in my interview attire featuring my very new program shirt with my logo on it. I'm so excited about that. And I'm trying not to throw up from being anxious because the longer I sit here and wait for this reporter to arrive, the more nervous I get, and I'm like sweating a ton. I'm just gonna sit down, I'm gonna try and drink the tea that I have, and I'm gonna go over the questions that he sent me. And I'll see you guys later.
2 hours later.
I did it! I just had my first TV interview. I'm really lucky because I didn't have to go into the TV studio. He came to me. I think that is much less stressful, and it allowed him to kind of see the space that I had. So he asked me a ton of questions. He took shots of all of my animals, including my tarantulas and some of my insects that I have. And yeah, I hope it went really well, but it's going to air tonight, so I'm hoping that I can take you guys with me and maybe watch it live, or I will just show you the footage that he got. If I poke her back end, she might move for us a little bit.
Tarantulas, snakes, millipedes, geckos, and turtles. They aren't usually people's go-to pets, but one Milwaukee home is filled with them.
She's girthy. She's a big girl.
Let me tell you something, leopard geckos are chick magnets. Back in college when we would have friends over, my roommate had a leopard gecko, every girl would rush to his room to hold the leopard gecko.
Step aside, dogs and cats. Tatiana Gritsevsky wants to normalize adopting reptiles and insects.
Not a lot of people like them, and that's okay. But if I could destigmatize them a little bit and get people to at least be interested in them, learn some fun facts, learn about their natural histories, that will lead them to considering them more and their habitats that they live in.
Tatiana's Tiny Zoo started as a YouTube channel in 2020. At the end of last year, Tatiana decided to take her show on the road to educate people about these animals.
So for birthday parties, for classroom experiences, senior centers, libraries, things like that.
Reptiles and insects are indicator species, meaning they are often the first to reflect changes in an environment. If that environment suffers pollution or imbalances, reptiles and insects can be some of the first to die.
And if we don't care or if we don't notice about their decline, it might be too late to save that habitat by the time we do notice. So that's a really important reason to get people to care about kind of the creepy crawly animals that they might not like so much.
You can reach out to Tatiana through her Facebook page, Tatiana's Tiny Zoo. She might just change your mind about reptiles and insects.
They make really good pets if they have the right care too. So yeah, I love them.
In Milwaukee, James Groh, TMJ4 News.
Much later.
Okay, let's get this situated. Nice. Hey, did I scare you guys with my brand new hair? It's obviously been a while since that news segment aired, several months in fact, since the last time I recorded something for this video specifically. So Hence the new appearance. There's been some changes in my reptile room in that amount of time as well. What do you think? Do you guys like it? Let me know in the comments below. For this part of the video, I wanted to do something a little bit different than normal. I wanted to give you guys kind of a reaction from my perspective as a business owner to the news segment and interview itself, as well as discuss if being on the news actually did anything for my business overall. I don't know if this is something that people are going to be interested in, but as a small business owner myself, I think it would actually help a lot of people in a similar situation to me. So let's get into it. All right, what were my thoughts on the interview itself? First of all, I wanted to start off by saying that I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be even considered as a worthy business to get its own news segment. The entire experience was really cool, and the interviewer himself was super nice. So don't take what I'm about to say as me taking this experience for granted, because I know there are probably a lot of small businesses out there that are trying really hard for an opportunity like this, so I don't want to give off the wrong impression. The interviewer spent about 2 hours at my house. It was just him, his microphone and camera setup. He asked me all sorts of questions. We talked about my business and the education programs that I'm doing. We talked about animals that have a bad stigma around them and why they're so critical to the environments that they're native to. And we also had enough time to chat about our mutual interest in nerdy things like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, things like that. So it was a really good experience for me. That's why I think it's kind of weird that a majority, maybe not a majority, maybe like 50% of the segment was talking about rescuing and adopting reptiles, which is not at all what my business is for. I don't really know why he edited out all of the parts where I actually talk about my services and the stuff that I'm offering for my local community. Maybe he didn't think it would make a good interview. I don't know. Or maybe you guys didn't get that vibe at all. Definitely let me know if you think that segment was a really good representation of my business and the programs that I offer, or if you think that there's something that he could have done better. Also, why was he talking about picking up girls in college with a pet leopard gecko?
Let me tell you something, leopard geckos are chick magnets.
I thought that was a super weird segue. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that, but I don't know. I don't know how it correlates to what I'm doing here. So this is the big question. Did being on the news do anything for my business? The answer to this question is a little bit more complicated than a yes or a no. Almost immediately after being on the news, the traffic to my website spiked, which is to be expected since the segment is pretty short. If people were interested or curious to learn more, they probably whipped out their phones and started Googling the name of my business right away. And right away we saw that increase in traffic, which tapered out pretty quickly after that. As a direct result of the interview, I also had several people reach out to me and ask if they could make donations for my business. And again, I don't know if that's because they actually wanted to support my community outreach or because they thought I was a reptile rescue and they wanted to help the animals that I am rescuing from other places. Which, don't get me wrong, I do have a lot of rescue animals, but again, that's not really the focus of my business. All in all, I got about $50 in donations. They either sent those directly to me or eventually sent them to my P.O. box after I got that established. Details for that in the description below. And those donations came with some really heartfelt and nice letters, which are actually hanging up on my fridge right now because they're just too sweet to throw out. Other than those donations, my feature in the news didn't lead to anyone booking a program with me. At least, nobody has mentioned the news segment as one of their reasons for reaching out. I think because the interview didn't spend all of its time talking about the services that I provide, it wasn't entirely clear to people what I can do for them. If you're a teacher or a parent of a child, if you work in assisted or senior living facilities, things like that, I don't think it was clear enough that I've got services and education opportunities that I could provide for you. Overall, I don't really think being on the news did that much for me, monetarily at least. Not that it didn't succeed in getting eyes on my business, it definitely got a lot of people at least talking about reptiles or reacting to them around their dinner tables when it aired. Overall, if you're a small business owner or an artist looking for ways to promote yourself and do outreach, I don't know if you should worry too much about being on the local news. Then again, if you have tangible products that you can actually show off during your interview to kind of promote yourself and your skills, it might go better for you in that way. Now, there is something really cool that has happened since that interview that I wanted to talk about, and it actually has helped my business monetarily through the bookings of several programs, and I want to share that with you guys. more than my little blip on TMJ4 was actually another interview that I did after that aired. And that other interview was actually with my old university that I went to. The University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee is actually where I got my bachelor's degree and graduated from in 2019. The school sometimes likes to write articles on their alumni and what they're doing, especially if they are successful in their communities. A few weeks after my TV interview, their head journalist reached out to me for a potential spotlight interview. After a few emails back and forth, we set up a Zoom call where she asked me all of her questions, and then after that she sent a photographer to my house to take some pictures of myself and my animals. A few weeks after that, my interview was posted on the alumni website as well as on their Facebook page. I'll put a link to that down below in case you wanted to check it out for yourself. This feature from my college was shorter than my news segment, and obviously it was limited to only a written article versus an entire video segment. But what's the most surprising to me is that people read that article and I actually had follow through. 2 or 3 people reached out to me and actually booked a program with me. That's way more than being on the news ever did. The college also offers childcare and early child education to their professors and educators, as well as their alumni. And their kindergarten teacher, as well as their summer camp coordinator, both reached out to me and wanted to book a program as well. So in a few weeks, I actually get to go back to my old school and visit some of the kiddos there. Even though the overall reach of this article was a lot smaller than, say, being on the TV of every news watcher in my local area, I think because it focused on specifically what I was doing and it targeted a more applicable audience, it gave a much clearer understanding for its readers of what services I could provide for them. It also helps that it's a school publication, so its target audience is already more in line with my target audience. Teachers, parents, science professionals. Professions like that are the exact types of people that I want to target with my outreach. And if I could give any advice to other small business owners, other people breaking out in their field or their profession, promoting themselves in this way, it would be to figure out what your target audience is and target them directly. Instead of getting the most number of eyes on your product or services, like my news program did for me, figure out how you can reach your target audience or the people that will be giving you their money directly. If you offer art or a craft service of some kind, see if there's a publication or magazine or even a news program that talks directly about these things, because then you're already reaching the people that are interested in this topic already. Or if you're like me and you offer services to people, figure out if you want to target parents or college students or professionals and target them directly. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys today. I hope this was at least interesting to my regular viewers. And if you're a small business owner, I hope this helped you in some way. Maybe it'll give you a better understanding of how to act during a video interview so that you can get a better edit in the end, because clearly I did something wrong there.
Pick magnets.
If people like content like this about me starting my own small business and figuring things out as I go along, please let me know in the comments below, because I'd be happy to share more of my experiences with you all. But that is all I have for you guys today. If you didn't get enough animals in this video today, I've been posting a lot of short form content on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. They're more lighthearted and fun, so it's a little bit different than these longer videos I post on my channel.
Look at that very handsome man. I wonder who he is. I don't think I've seen him around before. I thought I knew all the handsome men in this village. We could use some new faces.
And a huge thank you goes out to the several of you that have subscribed to my Patreon page. I'm shocked that I got a couple subscriptions already. You guys don't ever have to feel obligated to support me in that way, but your support means the world to me and it goes directly back to my animals, so I appreciate you guys a lot. Alright everyone, I'm signing off. I'll see you in the next video.